Yo, what's happening, Cucumber Squad, and welcome back to the Fable Sphere. Right, let's continue with our Skip the Line weekend, man. As you guys know, on my website, you can request Skip the Line reactions. There's only 8 slots that open up during the week. Once they're booked up, and I immediately drop those reactions for you that very same weekend. I only do 8 slots per weekend, and during the week we do the normal reactions as per the reaction list that everybody else requests. So these are purely just so that you can skip the line, and then on the weekends we drop. So this Easter weekend, we are doing all the STL, the skip the line reactions that has been requested. I ran an Easter special. And today it's actually all about Frank, because these are all Frank's reactions for his birthday. Happy birthday once again. I mentioned in my last video that Frank is now 5,000 years old, or just over 5,000 years old, but still aging like a silver fox that he is. So let's get into this. David Bowie was another one that he requested. It's called My Death Live, 1973, the 70s, man. There was good music in the 70s. So never heard this. This is pretty old. Let's see what this is about. Let's rock and roll. See, it's very old. Look at the quality is so bad. Beautiful acoustic.
My death waits like an old true wine, so confident I'll go his way. Whistle to him and the passing time. My death waits like a Bible truth at the funeral of my youth.
Oh shit, my death weighs like a Bible truth, right? At the funeral of my youth. Wow, that's a pretty impressive, that's a pretty beautiful line, pretty poetic line. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's possibly a song about suicide. Possibly a song about suicide. That's what it sounds like, specifically that line. My death weighs like a Bible truth. So my death, it's almost like I know it's coming, it weighs, and it's almost like it shouldn't be now because I'm still in my youth, but it weighs like a Bible truth at the funeral of my youth. So basically saying I'm going, like the funeral of my youth is basically going to end his youth willingly. Sounds like a suicide song. Anyway, let's carry on.
At the funeral of my youth, are we proud for that? And the passing time, my death waits like a witch at night. As our love is bright, let's not think about the passing time, but whatever lies behind the door, there is nothing much to do. Angel or devil.
That's crazy. That's crazy that it's a pretty dark song, specifically for a concert. Like it's a pretty, like you can't even hear the crowd over there. And it's like, I don't know if you performing this for the first time, essentially. I mean, obviously this must have been recorded and put onto a playlist, but like recording that and then putting it out into like performing it for a crowd. I mean, it's a pretty much of a downer song. Like, the crowd is like, yo, bro, are you alright? Are you okay, bro? This is sounding pretty dark. You know what I mean? But I like what the line that he said over here. So basically says, he said, let's not think no more about the passing time, because we don't know what's behind that door. And just before I cut off over there, before I pause it, he says angel or devil. So it's almost like death lies behind that door. He gets to choose whether he walks through that door or not. And regardless, wait, let's just carry on here.
There is nothing much to do. Angel or devil, I don't care. For in front of that door, there is you.
Jeez, that's a heavy line. So he's basically saying, so like I said before, so he says that let's not talk about the passing of time anymore. We don't really, basically saying, let's not talk about life anymore because I'm way past that, is basically what he's saying. And then he says what lies behind that door, regardless of whether it's devil or an angel, regardless of whether I go to heaven or regardless if I go to hell, it doesn't actually matter to me, right? Because on the other side of that door is you. So basically he's basically saying that he is worse than both those things, right? Because on the other side of that door, whichever way I go through this door, it's going to be better than my life as it is right now. That is a very hard line. That's a very, 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 very hard line. To actually even say, to actually equate that to, I don't actually care what's beyond this physical life, because this physical life actually means nothing. Me being in the flesh in this physical life is far worse than whatever lies behind that door. The door obviously being the gate to death, obviously being suicide, right? He decides whether he walks through it or doesn't walk through it. And it's almost sounding like he will, like he would. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I don't know much about David Bowie or whether he committed suicide or not, or whether he got helped. Hopefully he did. But basically saying that I will determine this fate because there's not much left here. This life is not worth living, essentially.
There is you. My death waits like a beggar blind who sees the world through an unlit mind.
Bar, bro. That's a bar. That's a bar. My death weighs like a beggar blind who sees the world through an unlit mind. You know what I mean? Like an uneducated mind. Come on, bro. That's a bar. That's a bar. But again, heavy.
Through an unlit mind, throw him a dime for the passing time. My death waits there.
Very clever. Throw him a dime for the passing time, right? It's like all he's doing is suffering, right? Because he's got an unlit mind. He can't really succeed in this world. So throw him a dime for the passing time. Throw him a dime to just keep him going. Although he's suffering, just throw him a dime to just keep him alive. It's almost like he's saying like that is just it's such a curse what you're doing to him. It's almost like you're making a mockery of him, saying, well, here's a dime so that you can keep suffering. Essentially, he's almost saying like you'd be doing him a niceness if you didn't give him the dime and he actually landed up ending his life. So mad.
Between your thighs, your cool fingers will close my eyes.
Jesus, this is heavy.
Let's think of that and the passing time. My death waits to allow my friends a few good times before it ends.
Jesus, I mean, I don't actually know how. I mean, for those of you who were in that time, how was this delivered? How was this received? Sorry, how was this received by the people that would listen to this in concerts? Because that is like, wow, this is daunting. This is daunting, like absolutely daunting.
So let's drink to that and the passing time. But whatever lies behind the door, or devil, I don't care. For in front of that door, there is you.
Heavy.
My death waits there among the leaves.
Even the way he's playing the guitar, and even his demeanor, even the way he's singing this, it's almost like it's lifeless. He's almost got this like lifeless demeanor. It's just doing this. You know what I mean? It's he really is conveying like the numbness that he has towards life. Like he really, this life means nothing to him. You know, just through this performance, which is quite irking to a certain degree. I mean, it would be, I could only imagine how people actually felt in like concerts or at the time, where it's like, geez, like this guy looks lifeless on stage, as if this really, he's done, like he's over. This man.
And magicians, mysterious sleeves.
I love the metaphors though, they're absolutely
rabbits
awesome.
and dogs, and the passing time.
Another bar. Rabbits and dogs, magician hats.
Ways there among the flowers, where the blackest shadow cowers. Let's big lilacs fall.
My death lays amongst the flowers where the blackest shadows cower. Beautiful line. Absolutely. That's a bar again. Right? That's where my death lies, where the blackest shadows cower. So basically like trees would cast shadows. Right? The darkest of shadows in between the flowers. What is meant to be beautiful. My death lies in the darkest shadows beneath that. Right? Also, which is basically alluding to the flowers onto the grave. On the soil of the grave. And the darkness there, essentially. So he's basically alluding to death in terms of like a funeral, right? And then the soil beneath those flowers in the darkest shadows. Very, very clever. Very, very nicely put. Dark again.
Let's big lilacs fall. The passing time. My death waits there. Of oblivion at my head. So pull up the sheets against the passing time.
Cells of oblivion at my head.
But whatever lies behind the door, there is nothing much to do. Angel or devil, I don't care.
Behind the door
For
is
in
you.
front of that door, there is. Thank you.
I'd actually shouted out me, right? So it's almost like saying, no, we don't want you to go, essentially. So. I think after that sort of performance, I think the producers that were in the thing, you would have hoped, I'm not entirely sure at the time, but you would have hoped there would have been like, get this man some counseling right now. Like there's a red flag over here. Get this man some counseling right now, right? And it might not be that he was singing about himself at all. It might just be that he delivered that in a way that is completely and utterly relatable to those who feel that way, right? It can be relatable to that. I mean, I obviously can't speak on that because, you know, thank God I've never ever been in that space, and I can never, you know, judge those who have been in that space. But there are people that might find this relatable. I'm not the only one that feels this way. I'm not the only one that feels that I'm not worthy, and whatever lies behind that door must be better than my own life. And I think maybe he's conveyed it that way, and maybe it's his own sort of lived experience, or it's not his own sort of lived experience. Maybe he's just speaking on behalf of many people who suffer through that mental decline. So yeah, anyway, awesome. Frank, another one, great. So we went from like a very deep, heavy love song to a very deep suicide song. Let's see what's next. Anyway, love you all, man. Please stay safe, please stay healthy. I'll catch you next one. Peace.